Do you have a gear stick that has a lot of play or wobble? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to change the saddle bush. I wish I had done this earlier, so let's get into the video. Hello YouTube and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the saddle bush. The first thing to do is to take off the bonnet and the nose. Then loosen the wheel nuts on the rear driver's side before jacking the car up. I've noticed that there is a lot of wobble on Fern's gear lever, and I'm sure that changing the saddle bush will help this. It's a very cheap part to buy, and it looks simple enough to change. I've also had a few problems getting Fern into reverse. Also, while in reverse, it sometimes sticks, so it can be hard to take out at times. I've also noticed that sometimes it does struggle to get into second at times. Maybe some of these problems might be helped as well. We shall see. Firstly, I'm not a mechanic at all. I'm just a novice learning as I go and learning when I need to fix things on Fern. The main reason that I started my YouTube channel in the first place was that there wasn't many videos on YouTube to help with things like this and just Caterham content in general, which I wanted to change. Here you can see that there is quite a bit of play or wobble while in neutral. Also, when in gear, there is also a lot of play or wobble. Fern has a Type 9 5-speed gearbox. First, I need to take the tunnel off to get to the gear lever. I've already released a video on how to do this, so if you already know how to do this, I've added chapters in this video so you can skip to the next part. I need to take the seats out. For me, I need to use a H6 socket for the passenger side and a 13mm socket for the driver's side. There are 4 nuts on the driver's side to undo underneath the car. I have the bolts welded into the seat rails, but you might need to get an Allen key to hold the top of the bolts at the same time, which can be a right pain to do. Most owners, after doing this for the first or second time, will get the bolts welded in the rails because it's a real pain to do. The passenger side is 4 bolts. Then to extend the harness straps to make getting the seats out easier. Now the seats are out, the next thing to do is loosen the handbrake. To get to this, I need to take off the driver's side rear wheel. I've put some tape to note where the handbrake position is now, so I can put it back here later. I need to loosen this clip and then undo those plastic pieces. This was hard to do one-handed while I was filming at the same time. You can see that you need to undo one of these plastic pieces and then the other. They need to be far enough down so that the handbrake can go on as far up as possible to get the tunnel off. Next is to take off the gear knob and handbrake sleeve. There is 1 grub screw on the gear knob. You need to loosen before turning the knob anti-clockwise. The handbrake has 2 grub screws if you have a handbrake like mine. If you do have the standard rubber one, this will twist off. It's not easy to do if it hasn't been off before, but it will twist off. Now to undo the 2 screws at the back of the tunnel. I've put rivnets in my tunnel to make this easier, but as standard it's self-tapping screws. And now we can lift off the tunnel. We can now see the gear lever, and these 3 bolts were 13mm socket, I think. After undoing these 3 bolts, the top of the gear lever will come off. Here is the new saddle bush, and here is where the old one is. It doesn't show up very well on video, but mine looked old and a bit worn. For me, this was a pain in the bum to come out, as it ended up being a bit brittle and it actually broke up while I was taking it out. I made sure that I didn't have any little bits of plastic left inside, but as you can see, the old one is now in bits, which wasn't ideal to come out, but it's what happened. So I used long nose pliers and also a screwdriver. I think long nose pliers seem to be the best way to get it off, but maybe there's a better way. Next, you have to put some grease on the new saddle bush. I don't know exactly what grease that you're meant to put in here, but this grease is what I had. It's possibly the wrong type, so please check which type of grease you need before putting it on. Now to put the saddle bush in place, which was the easiest part of this, and I also added a little more grease. From what I read online, some people say that there shouldn't be any grease underneath the gear stick, and some people said that there should be here, but mine already had some grease on it, so I added a little bit more before putting it back. It seemed very easy to move, so it seemed fine to me. And now to retrace my steps and to put everything back together. Here we are after putting everything back together, and as you can see, there is a lot less play or wobble in the gear stick. You can see it on camera that there's less, but it feels a lot more positive in my hand when wiggling. So this has definitely made a difference, and well, all we need to do now is go for a test drive and see what it's like.
Welcome to the road test, and I can confirm that the gear changes are a lot better. This is actually a few days later, about 5 days since changing the part, and so I've had a few days to test it out. The gear changing is a lot smoother, it feels a lot more precise, and it kind of feels like the gearbox is tighter. It feels tighter. Best way that I can find to describe it, I think. But yeah, it's a massive improvement. I've also had a problem where reverse sticks at times, and so far after changing this part I haven't had that problem. That's not to say that that is fixed, because it is a bit intermittent, but so far I definitely haven't had that. It's a lot more precise when it goes into reverse, so maybe it has, but time will tell. But yeah, I really wish that I had changed this part earlier, especially since it's such a cheap part as well. I've also found out that you can buy a brass or a brass, depending on where you come from, part instead of it being plastic. Maybe that's something that I should buy and test to see if that's better than the plastic version. But just changing it for another plastic version has definitely made a big difference. And as you can see, the plastic part that was in there was probably quite brittle because it did break up when I was taking it out. So probably long overdue. But yeah, really worth doing for me. Wish I did it earlier. So yeah, if you've got any kind of wiggle room in your gear stick, then I would definitely suggest doing it. I'm not a mechanic by any means. I'm just an enthusiast, kind of learning as I go along. If I've got a problem, I'll try and find out how to fix it, and if I find something out, that's why I do these videos, to try and help other people, because I've not found that many videos out there to help with things like this. So if maybe I could have done something slightly better. I'm sorry if that's the case, but yeah, as far as I can tell, I've done it right. But yeah, definitely worth doing. If this video has helped you, please like it and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm releasing a video every week this year, so if you don't want to miss a video, then make sure you're subscribed. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
As you fade away, as you fade away.